It's official. As of today, February 17th, 2020, the In a Weekend podcast and the entire business is now Amplify Your Awesome. And the focus of this new rebrand is on you. We're helping you take your awesome content and turn it into multiple assets, which you can then share on multiple platforms to get your message in front of people where they are hanging out. How cool is that? We're so excited to finally be able to share this new name and this new direction of the business. It's been a long time coming, and to celebrate this day, which also happens to be my birthday, we are doing a 5-day Kickstart Your Book challenge. If you have ideas or knowledge or experiences you want to put into a nonfiction book, or you've created a ton of content for your business already and are looking for a way to package it all up and put it into a book, this challenge is for you. All you have to do is save your seat at kickstartyourbook.com. Each day's activities are standalone. You could do that one activity or the one action item we're asking for that day and still get some momentum in the book. I do recommend that you join us for the entire challenge. We have a Facebook group set up where we're having fun, where the party is happening, and we'd love to have you join us there. Now, today's podcast, which is the first for the Amplify Your Awesome brand and number 260 of the podcast, is the audio version of the live video we did for challenge day number 1. So you can listen to all the things happening. You can hear how we're interacting with the people who showed up live. If you have questions, you have challenges when it comes to thinking about your book and how you want it to happen, come on over and pick our brains. Callie and I together have multiple decades of experience in this world of writing books and publishing. That's mostly Callie's side. I come to you with the idea of repurposing content. How can you take your best stuff and turn it into a book without driving yourself crazy and without the process taking months and months and months or even years? Because, my friends, it's 2020. It's time that your message is heard by more people, and the way we can do that for free to start off this new rebrand is to help you kickstart your book this year. Join us at kickstartyourbook.com. Enjoy today's episode, and I look forward to seeing you inside the group. Enjoy. Happy Monday, and welcome to day number 1 of the Kickstart Your Book 5-day challenge. We are so excited that you are joining us for this challenge because we're going to create some magic together this week. Let's start off quickly by doing some introductions. I'm going to have my co-host do her introduction to you first in case you don't know her yet.
Hi, Young. Good morning. My name is Callie Metler-Smith, and I'm the owner of Clear Fork Publishing that is in Stanford, Texas. So we publish a lot of children's books and some adult, YA, and some nonfiction books. And I also have a bookstore, and I teach online writing classes. And so that is apparently mayhem is happening in my house.
I know it's a school holiday, kids are home, so all the fun things are happening today. I'm glad you're here, Callie. I just am beyond excited. I was talking to Callie earlier today and telling her that as soon as my eyes opened this morning, the song "I'm So Excited" popped into my head. Like, woo! So much excitement is happening today with the kicking off of this challenge. It's rebrand day for us. It's my birthday, so it's a party today. And I'm excited you guys are here with us. And in case you guys don't know me, I can officially say this now. I am the Chief Content Strategist at Amplify Your Awesome, where we show you how to take the most awesome things that you create and turn them into multiple pieces to share on multiple platforms. And today is day number 1 of the challenge. So we have a lot of fun in store for you this week. So we want to start off with, what are we doing today? Callie, you want to kick this off and talk about the first thing we're having them do in the challenge today?
Absolutely. And so the very first thing that you need to do is that you really need to think about what you want to get out of this week. What are the intentions that that you have for this week, and what would you like to walk away from out of this week? Because as we've talked about, like, we're going to give you the framework for writing a nonfiction book during this challenge, but it's totally up to you on what you want to accomplish through this process. And it's really good to have your eye on the prize so that you know that you're working towards that. So, number one thing is to set your intention for the week. And
Absolutely.
also what goes with that is also to set up your mantras that we included in today's PDF. So if you haven't grabbed that yet, refer to your email that you should have gotten this morning, and to post those in places where you do your writing to kind of cheer you along and give you some inspiration.
Absolutely. Or you can set them to come up on your phone every couple of hours just to kind of remind you and keep you moving in that direction. Because I know as soon as life hits, sometimes we have an intention and then all the crazy happens to all of us. And then we kind of lose focus and we have to bring ourselves back. So these mantras are a really great way to just give you that visual reminder to help you move forward. And I do want to say, when you're joining live, I see a couple people here. Hello, hello. Just let us know. Just type your name in here. I'm not able to see your name. It pops up as Facebook user. So just let us know who you are, so we can give you a shout out.
I think it's Marcia because she said that her tutoring was postponed and earlier
Oh,
she said she
yay.
today.
That was
So
fortuitous timing, Marcia. Welcome.
yeah. And happy
Hi.
birthday, Young.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Such a fun day to have all of this going down today with the rebrand. And this challenge has been something we started talking about, gosh, last year at some point.
Yeah.
And then we went our own ways, and you were dealing head on with some health issues. So here we are in this new year coming back together. And I'm excited that we're doing this because in the past, I have launched other things, including podcasts in a weekend and ebook in a weekend. So now combined with you, it's nice to be able to have like the full gamut of the experience from, the creation bit all the way to the publishing bit, and helping everyone in this challenge to really create a great pathway for themselves. So after you set your intentions, next we have goals. Now, I know some people are goal writers, they write them down. Some people just kind of internalize them. I'm kind of that person. We're going to encourage you, though, to really write them out and be specific. What do you want to have happen by Friday? We have 5 days together. What is that goal?
Right.
Write that down. Kelly, do you want to talk about goals and
Oh,
how
yeah.
you view those goals?
So I feel like sometimes I'm the goal queen because I'm constantly reevaluating where I am, as far as what I want to accomplish. And I think that there is a lot to be said for on Monday setting your intentions for the week and then following that up. And I always feel like the magic number is 3. For some reason,
Yeah.
that to me always seems like the magic, formula. But setting 3, and I love that you said specific, because I feel like that word is important when you're setting goals, because you need to be specific about what you want to accomplish. And I know that Marcia posted her goals already in the
Woo, Marcia.
yeah, I saw that this morning, and I love that she was pretty specific about what she wanted to do. I know that she's talked about that she has a lot of brainstorming that she's already done. So for her, it may be calling out the story that she's going to work on this week.
Mhm.
But I also think that I would encourage everyone that is taking this challenge. And Lucy is here. I saw that. So hi, good
Right.
morning, Lucy. Although I guess it's night there, or it's getting later on in the day there. But it's also it's important to set these goals and write them down and put them in a place that you can refer continually back to them. So then as you're going through the week, I'm the queen of writing my intentions down and then not putting them somewhere that I can refer back to them. And then on Wednesday, I'm going, oh yeah, what did I want to accomplish by the end of the week? So please don't only write these down, but put them somewhere where you can continually focus on them and refer back to them so that you can stay on track to what you want to accomplish by Friday.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad I'm not the only one who loses paper. I'm notorious for having great ideas, writing things down, and I go back later to find it and I have no idea where it is. So some of those ideas are lost forever. So if you have this challenge like Callie and I do, yeah, use your phone, use something like Google Documents to really help you centralize everything, put it all in one place. So when you want to go back to it again, you can go back to that place and you can find it, because that's the key. Knowing where you put the keys to the kingdom, right? And in this case, where you're putting the ideas for your book, your intentions, having them centralized in one location is going to serve you really, really well this week, because we're going to have you actually refer back to previous days' tasks throughout the rest of the week. So you definitely want to keep everything close at hand to give you the most success for the week. And then if you do have questions throughout the challenge, if you would just post them below or in the group and use the hashtag ask. That way, when Callie and I are going back through, we can answer your questions specifically, because I know you're going to have questions when you're doing something different than you normally do. Questions are bound to arise. So definitely, if you would for us, just use that hashtag ask. And when you're posting your daily work, if you would just use hashtag day one, hashtag day two, that way we're not missing anything, because as the group gets more engaged and people post more things, we want to make sure, Callie and I want to make sure that we are helping each of you individually. So definitely, if you would just use those hashtags for us, it will make it easier for us to find your questions, address your needs, and help you along on your journey that we're moving on together.
Absolutely. And it's our job to support you. Um,
Yes.
Please, if you have any questions at all, please post them. No question is stupid or dumb. We are here to support you through this journey. So even if it's just like, I just need you to send a little extra love for me today because
Yes.
I'm struggling with this part of the challenge, feel free to do that.
Yes, absolutely. Because you know, those little pushes, those little nudges that sometimes have the biggest impact on us individually. So please, if there's anything you need, we are here. We're excited to be here with you, and we cannot wait to see what's going to happen by Friday, to see what you have created this week. And we know there's going to be magic in the air as you set your intentions, you set your goals, and you start working on them. And that brings us to the third part of today's action items, and that is the brainstorming. And I know Marcia said she has a running list already of brainstorms. Some of you are wanting to start this nonfiction journey from scratch. That is really cool. I'm going to have Callie talk about that in just a moment. Some of you have content you've already created. So I know I have some of my podcasting students here. When you already have content, we can take that, spin it into a new way. We're going to give you a framework of how to do that this week, and use that content that's already in your vault and turn it into a book that you can then use to reach those amazing people who you want to connect with. You can use it to reach people you already know and then just give them a little reminder. But a book has so many great advantages, and we're going to talk about those things this week. But if you have content on your brainstorm, I want you to just list out all the things that you've already created, or things that you created a long time ago. Even bring it back. Let's see what can happen when we kind of spin our webs, or flick our wrists and use our wands to create the next bit, the next evolution of something you've already created. And if you are starting from scratch, that's awesome, awesome, awesome. Kelly, how can they then take these ideas and decide?
Well, so I think that for some of the people that have joined this challenge, they're entrepreneurs and they're people that have content created, like you just said. But then some of the people that are coming over from my groups and stuff are people that have interest in areas that may be what makes up their nonfiction
Mhm.
stories or their nonfiction books. So, in that case, I would encourage you today to take some time and think about the things that you are interested in, that you either have a base of knowledge in, or it's something that you would like to have a base of knowledge in. So, for you, it could be okay. So, I'll just give an example of a nonfiction book that I wrote was about the first Swedish person that came into Texas. And he's significant to me because the town that I live in was actually created by his sons. So
Mm.
his fingerprints are all over this area, and he is because I grew up in this town and I love this town. I grew up kind of knowing who he was. And he was also a cool individual. So he's really fun to research and find out stuff about. So I wrote a nonfiction book about him because of the love for my town and having that knowledge base of who he was. So there may be someone like that that's in your world that you would like to write a nonfiction book about and that you would like to spend some time researching about. There may be a topic or something that you have an area of interest in, like yoga or, um, you know, m- recipes and I'm just throwing out like random things, but it could just be something that interests you that you would like to spend some time this week researching more about. And that's totally fine. You don't have to have content created about these things to do that. But I would encourage you today to take a step back and think about things that you would like to know more about or things that you have already researched quite a bit on and you would like to write about. And that will work for you, Marcia. I know you have your Story Storm ideas, which I was explaining to Young this morning that Story Storm in the Kidlit world is a period through the month of January where you brainstorm ideas for books. And so you might want to take some of your Story Storm ideas and think about if you wanted to write a nonfiction book. But I've critiqued books of yours that were about real people that you may want to do a nonfiction spin on for you specifically, Marcia. But um, that is the brainstorming component that I would encourage to go to if you don't have content already created.
And I want to just add on to that and challenge you all too that when you're thinking about the things you may want to write about in this nonfiction arena, look to your life for some clues because it's usually the things that come easy to you that other people struggle with. So, what is it that when you tell somebody you did something, they stop and say, well, I wish I could do that.
Oh
Or,
yeah.
maybe there's an experience you've gone through. You can use that experience to help guide somebody else through a similar journey. So there's lots of different ways you can draw on your own life experiences to come up with ideas when you're going to start from scratch. And I'd say even if you have content already, you could still do this brainstorm because then it's going to be easier for you to identify what you've already created that could fit into those categories. Because this week is all about efficiency. We're going to show you some really slick ways to create very, very fast, even if you don't like writing, which sounds, I know, totally crazy, but it's true. It can happen. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So the brainstorm, we want you to set a timer because we know your time is super valuable. We want you to get massive value from this challenge. So set a timer and give yourself a challenge because sometimes when we give our brain those parameters of, okay, oh, I only have 5 minutes to get this done, or I only have 10 minutes, magic starts to happen in your brain. Your subconscious starts to go to work, and these ideas will start, just flowing after a few minutes.
Well, and I think that I want to expand a little bit on something that you just said, Young, that since we're being intentional about making the homework less than 20 minutes each day, I would encourage you to set that time apart so that you know that you can get it done within that amount of time and that you have that time to do it. So I see that so that's Marcia that's talking, and
Mhm.
she says, I'm planning to work on my Debbie Friedman story. And that was specifically the story that I was thinking about that we had gone over before. Um, and yes, I think So she makes a good point, and this is something that a lot of kid lit people struggle with when they're writing about a real person, where to begin, because you only have the framework of a picture book instead of like a full book to work with. And so I think that I think for you, like for this Debbie Friedman story, I would focus on what would it look like if you start with her early life, and then what would it look like if you just kind of skimmed over her early life and then talked about why she is significant
Mhm.
and her accomplishes accomplishments that she made, because I know that we talked a little bit about that before. So I would look at it both ways and see which feels better. Or you may want to look at expanding it to a longer book, like a middle grade would be perfect for this story. And that would be a really good thing for you to work on this week, since we're talking more about longer books, where you could focus on her early life and her later life. So you wouldn't have to pick and choose which one you were going towards.
Yes, and I do want to say, Marcia, tomorrow's activities are going to help you dial this in. And I can't wait tomorrow when you come back to see how this all kind of works its way out and see the direction, because tomorrow is really going to, get you to think about a lot of different things that will help to know kind of where to begin and how to move on from there. So yes,
Yes. Well, and
awesome.
and Yang, we both said that one of our favorite things about this challenge is we just can't wait to see what people create and see how they progress through this week, so that when we get to Friday, we're basically having a party that day just to celebrate all that we've accomplished this week. And I think this is a perfect example. I can't wait to see how this pans out.
Yeah, and I'd love to know, for those of you who are here, how many of you think you're going to start from scratch, and how many of you are looking to repurpose the content that you've already created? I'm really curious about, who's here and which direction you want to head. So just pop those down below in the comments and we'll take a look.
I don't know
How exciting.
how much of a delay there is.
There might be a little bit of a delay.
Okay.
And again, if you have questions for us about today's activities, if you need a little bit of support, we are here for you. Again, just use that hashtag ask so that we can find your questions and get those answered as quickly as we can. All right. Excited to be here this week. Woo woo. And the funny thing with Be Live is that in a group setting, I'm not able to see who these people are, and I have no other devices with me because I wanted to make sure I focused here on the screen and we didn't get weird feedback by opening up Facebook and another
Right.
tab or anything. So just let us know your name when you comment, just so we can give you a little shout out.
Well, and I can pop over.
Oops.
Let's see.
So you're doing both, starting from scratch and repurposing. Awesome. It's kind of the best of both worlds, I feel like. You have all these ideas and then can use other stuff you've already created to fit that. Because as we go through our writing adventures, our business adventures, we enjoy certain things at certain seasons of our lives and we forget about them and move on and go on to something else. So it's fun to reflect back and look back like, oh yeah, I did write that blog article. I did do that podcast episode or that video on this. And it's funny how things kind of come back. And Callie and I were talking this morning about something we're going to share with you later this week, and about how something that I had created before is now going to it's going to resurface 5 or 6 years after the fact. So it's kind of cool to be able to play on both sides of the, I guess, the net, if you will.
Right. And Lucy is the one that said that she's starting from scratch and repurposing. And I know that Lucy is working on building her class right now. And so that, for you, Lucy, it may just be taking some of the modules of your class and repurposing them. And so I love the fact that you, the starting from scratch may give you content for other modules of your class too. So
yes, and I love that you're creating a class. You're kind of in that mode too, because it's going to open up a lot of opportunities, like Callie said, to be able to take your content and repurpose it. And I know some people, when it comes to repurposing, and sharing what they know. They don't always want to share the full enchilada, right? They want to share bits and pieces and drive traffic into the next thing, that class. But I'm going to encourage you, because I know I struggle with this too, is to share more than you think you would normally. Because even if somebody reads your book from cover to cover, they still may need to get help from you on a more personal level. So don't feel like you have to have only certain things in a class and only certain things in a book. I would challenge you to like share everything you know, and then that way you're helping and serving more people in whatever way they learn best. And that opens up the door to inviting them into your world a little deeper as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so
Awesome,
excited.
awesome. Yeah, so exciting. As you go out on your Monday, just look at this whole challenge kind of with fresh eyes. Let yourself be swept up by the things we're going to have you do this week, because we had so much fun putting together each day's tasks, and they're very intentional on how we're walking you through these things. So, go back to that sense of wonder that you had as a child, and just let anything be possible this week, because we know it's going to be an awesome week to see what you create and what ideas maybe you didn't have at the beginning of the week that surface at the end of the week.
Absolutely. Well, and happy birthday, Young.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I'm excited to go reveal the rebrand officially on all my social, and just to celebrate this whole week. It's an awesome birthday week, I think, to be able to be here with all of you this week, to have you share your stories with me. I feel so privileged. And Callie, I know you feel the same about you being vulnerable enough to come here and say, you know what? Let's jump into this adventure together and see where it takes us.
Absolutely.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks, everyone. Drop your questions. Let us know what help you need. And we're going to be back again tomorrow morning, same time, same channel. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
So are you excited to kickstart your book with us this week? If so, head over to kickstartyourbook.com. That way you get access to all of the daily emails we're sending out, all of the worksheets we've created for you to help you keep track during this challenge. It is all available for you for free at kickstartyourbook.com. I look forward to seeing you inside our group. Cheers.